Hello world, it's Vagabond here. In this video I'll show you the Chinese city of Qingdao, where I had a layover on my way from Southeast Asia back to Europe. Before visiting Qingdao, I knew almost nothing about it, but it turned out to be one of the most interesting coastal cities in China. Qingdao is located in eastern China, in Shandong province, on the shore of the Yellow Sea. It's home to around 10 million people and is one of the country's largest ports, as well as a major industrial and logistics hub. The city's appearance is quite surprising. It was a German colony for a long time, and traces of European architecture can still be seen in the old town. Because of this, Qingdao is often called the most European city in China. Qingdao is also known for its beer and seaside beaches, which attract tourists from all over China during the summer season. Currently we are on the bus stop waiting for the bus to our first place, which we are planning to visit. Okay, our bus has just arrived. And this is the way you pay for the bus ride. So it's actually very easy to pay for things in China. You just need to install the famous application which is called Alipay. Using this application you can call taxi, pay for public transportation. So when you enter the bus, they all have this kind of terminals which are designed for scanning QR codes. So you just click to the section which is called Transport, choose Bus, and there is your QR code. Before I just attached my bank card to this application which was issued outside China, and when they scan this QR code here in the bus, it basically charges the fee from my bank card. So it's kind of the intermediate platform for card payment. On the streets of China you can see that license plates of cars have different color. This is green license plate, which means that this car is electric. At the same time, this is classic Chinese license plate with the blue color. So this is classic diesel engine. Many street signs actually have English translation, so it's not that you are getting lost because you don't speak Chinese. Relatively easy to navigate around this city. So currently is the beginning of February. Outside temperature is -2 degrees Celsius, but it's like changing from a little bit negative to a little bit positive temperature, so it's still around 0 degrees. So we just made it to a random clothing store because I need to fix my jeans. So this is how it looks. It's situated inside the residential building, so there is just a woman who is sewing things and fixing clothes. Yeah, so it used to be an apartment and they just rearranged it for their office of a clothing store. So my jeans have just been fixed extremely fast and extremely cheap, for just 5 yuan, which is less than $1. So we are somewhere in central area of the city. Currently we are looking for the place to have lunch. I don't know where my friend is taking me, but the idea is to eat something Chinese. So this is kind of the food street of Qingdao, as far as I understand. There are so many restaurants, not only with Chinese food by the way, but also Western food restaurants. We just ordered some food. Our order was served within 30 seconds, very fast. Over here we can see the pork ribs which are not spicy. These are spicy pork ribs. This is some kind of the soup, and we also have 2 plates of plain rice and a portion of peanuts served with carrot and maybe the pea. The order for 2 persons, so less than $10. I think I never tried peanuts cooked this way, but it's okay. It's cold, but a little bit salty. It's okay. Let's keep it aside. The main dish is pork. There you go. It's a very nice pork. Indeed not spicy at all, but cooked well. What can I say? Yeah. Nice cuisine. Qingdao is a coastal city with beautiful promenade. We just made it to a small park not so far from it. From here we can enjoy the Olympic Center and apparently the yacht club and the harbor of the city. So basically in 2008 there were Olympic Games in China, and Qingdao accepted some competitions of Olympic Games related to sailing sport. On the background there is a wonderful urban skyline with a bunch of business centers, kind of the skyscrapers, and on the left there is an exciting, not like the peninsula, but basically the place with the lighthouse, and that's the exact location where we are currently hitting. There is also such a beautiful view on Yellow Sea. So Yellow Sea washes the banks of Qingdao.
The building in front of you is the Qingdao International Convention Center, which hosted the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in June 2018. The SCO is an intergovernmental alliance aimed at strengthening political, economic and military cooperation across Eurasia. At the time of the summit, the SCO had 8 member states, including China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and 4 Central Asian countries. Qingdao also hosted sailing competitions during the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008. You can still spot small but interesting reminders of that time, like manhole covers featuring Olympic symbols that remain in place to this day.
We reached the Qingdao lighthouse, and from this point of view we can enjoy the panorama of the city. Basically the entire, not the entire, but part of the coastline, with the skyscrapers and business centers on the background, basically the promenade. So we are currently in the public bathroom on the embankment of Qingdao, and there is the screen mentioning the situation in the bathroom, so you can see which toilet cabins are occupied right now and which are free. You can also see kind of the cabins. So these are typical Chinese squat toilets, and there is also one proper WC over there and over there in female section. There is actually many restaurants on the promenade of Qingdao. Many of them are closed right now, but in summer supposedly they are full of people. And also, Qingdao is the hometown of Tsingtao beer, basically. Famous Chinese beer, which is produced straight here. Later, we'll visit the actual brewery where it is produced, but now we can only see the restaurant associated with it. I do like the way they decorated trees. It's like they turned them into some cartoon characters. We just made it to the central part of the embankment. Seems that at this point there is a low tide in the sea, so you can access the bottom of it. So people just get down to feed the birds and apparently to enjoy the sunset, which is going to happen in just half an hour at 5:30 p.m.
Right on the waterfront of Qingdao stands one of the city's most iconic landmarks, a red, spiral-shaped monument called May Wind. At first glance, it looks a bit like a spinning top of a whirlwind, and that's no accident. The design represents the strength, unity and energetic spirit of the youth who once shook the nation. This monument commemorates the May 4th movement of 1919, a powerful student-led protest that erupted across China. It all started when the Treaty of Versailles, which officially ended World War I, handed over former German-controlled territories in China, particularly the Shandong Peninsula and Qingdao, to Japan, instead of returning them to Chinese control.
We decided to walk further down embankment, and we are facing the sunset right now. There is such a beautiful scenery. Part of the city is still illuminated by the setting sun. In less than an hour it's gonna be dark. I'm very excited to see this kind of urban scenery in Qingdao, these newly built skyscrapers and business centers. Just found a very interesting monument which is called Between Earth and Sky. What does it mean? It's hard to say. These are feet, these are arms, and apparently there is earth in someone's arms. But there is no body between feet and arms. Okay, so it's dinner time. We are currently in one of the shopping malls of Qingdao, and for dinner we are having the so-called hot pot. So it is an actual pot, the boiling soup, and we have a lot of ingredients which we can. It's basically customized soup, you know. So we can add the ingredients we want to here to basically cook them, or to here. This is more like spicy part of this soup. This is the peanut sauce. We even have oranges, so, and a bunch of vegetables on the left. So yeah, apparently I need to take out some of the lamb. It was sliced lamb which we put here. So there it is, it's already cooked. This is like peanut sauce or something, so we just place it here. Look at these massive sticks. I've never seen such long sticks before. So it's a bit inconvenient for me to eat with them, but I can do it. So this is basically a mix of sliced lamb in the peanut sauce. Actually a very interesting taste. I like it. And we still have plenty of food to cook. So this is just the beginning. Here we go with the dessert. The dessert is basically this kind of thing. Looks like a piece of donut covered with something. So let's try it. It's a dessert covered with something like mayonnaise and some powder, you know. So overall very nice. Here we go with the next portion of food. So basically some more meat. The donut was not the only sweet thing on the table. We also have chips made of sweet potato, and this is the reason why they're sweet. So yeah, tastes just fine, like, you know, sweet chips, almost like caramel taste. So currently we are preparing shrimps. Yeah, please. This is how they look. Funnily enough, I've never seen shrimps which were not cooked. So apparently they are white like this. Still finishing the last portion of beef. This one is actually a bit different. But still reasonable. Can I take one more? Just one? Okay. Alright. Ah, it's so slippery. Shrimps happen to be the most slippery unit of food today, but I caught one. I think one of the best shrimps I've ever tried, funnily enough. Very good. Especially in this like peanut sauce or something. Okay, we are in Qingdao Metro. It's the information about the temperature inside the train. So apparently it's different. First, two cars of the train which are conditioned one way, and the second part of the train is more air conditioned. One part of the train is colder than another one. You can choose the part of the train with the more comfortable temperature for you. And that's how the subway station looks. So basically they're all the same, all of these subway stations. Unified design. They have this kind of protective glass wall, so you will not fall to the railway tracks. And when the train arrives, they just open these doors, which is basically the gate, along with the doors of the train. So we are on the subway train here in Qingdao, and I just wanted to point on the very user-friendly design of this electronic screen, which basically shows you the next stations of the line. It actually shows you the entire line from the beginning till its terminus, your real-time location, even English translation is available here. You see, we are currently taking the green line, so all of the signs are marked with green color. It shows you the car number, which may be useful if you are planning to meet up with someone next to the train. You can just tell him or her the number of your wagon. And this is the scheme of every station, so you can see the position of escalators, exits and the toilets. Each subway station is equipped with the bathroom. It's usually situated at the end of the platform.
The next day in Qingdao, we continued exploring the city. We began our day with tasting dishes at several street food restaurants. China has an incredible variety of street food, and since I personally enjoy Chinese cuisine, I was happy to try the local delicacies. For example, we had octopus spice balls, which turned out to be the most delicious street food I've tried in China. They were also very affordable, just $1 or $2 per portion. Inside, besides the octopus, there seemed to be cheese, and they were topped with a light layer of mayonnaise. After trying a few more dishes, we quickly stopped by a nearby store selling Russian products. As I understand, such shops can be found in major Chinese cities, especially now as cooperation between Russia and China is at an all-time high. Russian goods are actively exported to China and seem to be quite popular among the locals. However, the main goal of the day was to visit the brewery, or more precisely the beer factory in Qingdao, as this coastal city is probably best known for its beer, Tsingtao. The Tsingtao Brewery was founded in 1903 by German settlers during the period when Qingdao was a German colonial concession. These settlers brought their brewing expertise and equipment from Europe and adhered to the German beer purity law, creating a crisp, light lager using imported ingredients and the famously pure spring water from nearby Laoshan mountains. After World War II and the establishment of the People's Republic of China, the brewery became state-owned. In the 1990s, the brewery was modernized and partially privatized, eventually becoming one of China's top-selling beers and a globally recognized brand exported to over 100 countries. Today, the original site of the brewery is home to the Qingdao Beer Museum. The museum showcases historic brewing equipment, colonial-era photographs, interactive exhibits, and offers visitors a chance to taste unfiltered Qingdao beer directly from the source.
Tastes very good. What can I say? Yeah, very nice beer. It seems that we have just made it to the old town of Qingdao, which is remarkable by its European architecture, because the old town of this city was constructed in times when this territory was under European rule. Well, I have no idea actually how original those buildings are, knowing that sometimes they just demolish the original ones. And it's also a food street with numerous kiosks with different kinds of food. But currently it's just like a walking street, actually very pretty street, which leads towards the Catholic Church, which we can already see on the background. Yeah, it's probably the major landmark of this quarter of the old town of Qingdao. So currently the cathedral is closed, time is 5:30 p.m. but during daytime it's possible to get inside and see the interior.
This was my first trip to China, short but memorable. Qingdao became my first introduction to the country, and I was left with a positive impression of the city. I was pleasantly surprised by the local cuisine, the interesting landmarks, and the overall atmosphere, even despite the winter chill. In the future, I'd like to return to China to explore it more deeply, but for now, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to support my work, check out my Patreon. I post unique content there that doesn't make it to my YouTube channel, including some videos that were taken down. See you in the next episode.